All right. Hello, everybody. This Hangout on Air is live. I'm Denise Posnack from MyBod Wellness. I have a Skype-based Pilates and yoga service that is one-on-one training, seeing people all over the country, all over the world. And I'm here today with this very, very exciting interview of panelists of incredible, successful Pilates studio owners and teachers who I revere. And I'm so excited to hear their thoughts on how to have a happy Pilates business. So this started, Brett and I had posted something on Facebook about a year ago, and I was just talking about how much I love my life and how much I love my job. And Brett wrote me, Brett from Pilates and Tell, this is a collaboration with him, with his global international magazine called Pilates and Tell, bringing a community of Pilates instructors together. And he had said, hey, you know, what is this joy you have? Can you talk about it? And Brett and I talked about a really just the vision of getting people to talk about this. How can we stay happy as Pilates teachers? How can we sustain our businesses, stay in the game, and just feel good? It's easy to stay in the game when things are hard if we're hard workers and we kind of white knuckle through it, but we really want to be able to be happy and stay happy. So I'm here with this awesome group of people. We're in New York City, we're in Chicago, we're in Illinois, we are in Sweden, and so I'm going to go through here and introduce them one at a time, and then we'll get the questions rolling, and we're so glad that you're here with us. We're going to start here with Annette Fletcher. So Annette Fletcher is in New York City right now. She's actually in her Pilates studio as we speak. She started her Pilates career at the New World School of the Arts in Miami, Florida, under the tutelage of Elaine Wright. And she received a BFA in dance. When she arrived in New York, she went on to study under Frankie Puglisi at the Pilates Institute of America, and after teaching for Equinox Gyms, decided to open her own studio, which is a brave move in New York City as a young woman. Her studio is called Pilates House, and it was housed in her home. So not only are you in Annette's Pilates studio, you're actually in her house, which is very exciting. So thank you, Annette, for having us in your house. In addition to her work at Pilates House, she is a teacher trainer for Pilates Institute of America and works with physical therapists in New York to help them incorporate Pilates into their rehab techniques. Thanks, Annette, for being here. Hi.
Thank you, Denise.
You're welcome. And Brett Miller, again, who I'm in collaboration with here. Brett Miller is in Stockholm, Sweden. Hi, Brett.
Hi.
Brett has an incredible, again, Pilates, and a magazine called Pilates Intel. You're going to want to check that out. His website's there at the bottom. All the websites are here at the bottom. Brett became a Pilates instructor in 2005, has been teaching ever since. And in addition to managing his Pilates teaching career, he is also a consultant for software developing. So he's running 2 businesses, which a lot of us are doing. And so we're glad to have Brett here to talk about his experience. Yay! Hey, Brett.
Hello.
Hey, and then Janice Dulac. Janice Dulac, who is actually my aunt. I'm going to just let everybody know that because I'm so proud. Janice Dulac is in Champaign, Illinois right now. She also has a studio and business in Ocala, Florida, where she works with dressage riders. She is a Romana's Pilates master instructor trainer with an international reputation, and she is also an avid dressage rider and author of books and DVDs about Pilates and dressage. She's a revered Pilates teacher of teachers, sought after for her clear and concise distillation of the Pilates method. I love that word. Her training began 2 decades ago with the heir to the Pilates method, Romana Krzyzanowska, and her work continues now through her Dulac Pilates Center, which is in Champaign, Illinois, and also for her School for Pilates for Dressage and Ridermanship. So she empowers riders to effectively communicate with their horse through body control. So I love this combination. Hi, Janice. Thank you for being here. We're so excited. Yay. And Kim Kuznets. Kim is in New York City.
Hi.
Hi, Kim. And she is the founder of Bent Pilates Studio, which actually was rated one of New York City's best Pilates studios, which is pretty awesome. She's a master Pilates instructor. She is also a surfer. And she brought those 2 things together. She's a creator of the Surf Pilates technique. You got to find out about it. Go to her website. It's like surfing in the studio. It's amazing. It's Pilates on a surfboard. She's been in the Pilates field for over 20 years, and she created Bent Pilates Studio in Manhattan in 2003. And again, her passion for surfing sparked her latest creation, Surf Pilates, like I said, a balanced Pilates and balance-based surf workout done on a specifically surfboard, which is really cool. So hi, Kim. Thanks for being here. Hey. Linda Erlandson. Linda is actually in London right now in a hotel room. Yay, London. That's awesome. But she is from Gothenburg. Hi, Linda. She's from Gothenburg, Sweden. She's a fully certified stock Pilates instructor. She is also educated in several body forms, including Garuda. She's a licensed personal trainer in trained through Global Yoga Power. She has an education in Zenga, in anatomy treatments. This woman has so much education under her belt, it's ridiculous. But we're so excited because she brings it all together. She has taught Pilates since 2001. She launched Gothenburg's first Pilates studio in 2005 with partner Jasmine Sally, and in 2010 started her new studio, which is called Pilates Complete. Again, if you're in Sweden, you can go visit her and take classes from her, and she's a studio owner, a personal trainer, group class instructor, and a course leader. So again, balancing all these things we all do, it's amazing. Okay, awesome. Emmy Cole is here from us. She's in Chicago. Hi, Emmy. Emmy grew up as a competitive gymnast and earned a BS in kinesiology. We lost Emmy. I'm going to keep going with her. That's okay. I'm going to keep going with her bio, and we'll see if she pops back on. If not, she will at some point. Welcome to technology, everybody. Welcome to Google Hangouts. She has an MS in exercise physiology and certifications through the American College of Sports Medicine, and her Pilates training was through Physical Mind Institute. Emmy recently sold her Pilates, Chicago Pilates studio of 12 years and has a great story about that. And she's also the author of a 7-book series called Pilates Expanded, and one of the manuals is actually a Pilates business manual, and Emmy actually consults Pilates business owners. So we're excited to have her here. We hope she pops back on. But we're just going to dive right into the questions and what we really want to get. There she is. Hey, Emmy, we went through your whole bio. You're all good. Everybody knows about you. It's awesome. So I am going to start with you, Emmy, because you're back. The question I have for our panelists, and we're going to start with a few people. The first question that we just want to tap into, I think we could write about this every day. It might help us as Pilates teachers. Why do you do what you do? So, Emmy, I'm going to start with you. Just a quick, first thing that comes to your mind. Why do you do what you do? Why do you teach Pilates?
So in the fitness industry, it's really common for clients to ask, what's the best form of exercise that you can do? And the best answer I've heard to this question is whichever exercise you enjoy the most, because it's the one you're going to stick with. And for me, Pilates was a natural fit. Like many people, I had a back injury. It helped me feel so much better, and it keeps me healthy throughout my life. And it also happens to be the favorite career that I've had over the past 20 years in the fitness industry. And so I just feel really lucky to both enjoy doing it and enjoy teaching it.
I love that. Thank you so much. Good. Awesome. Janice, why do you do what you do?
2 reasons. One, I was a professional dancer, and so I use Pilates to help people understand how to live fully in every muscle in their body, because I got to do that as a dancer, but most people don't get to do that. They don't live fully in their bodies. And secondly, because as a rider, I understand how much the body affects the horse, and I'm into natural horsemanship also. And I feel sorry for horses that have riders that have no body awareness, because you really impinge the way they go, and you can actually cause them pain. So when I teach riders, I help them understand how to use their bodies, and I'm helping horses that way.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. Kim, why do you do what you do? And you can answer to teaching Pilates and finding the surf aspect of it as well.
Well, I find that Pilates can be applied to many different sports. That's what I find fascinating, because you can get creative with it. And also after a session, after teaching for a while, I still work. So I think it keeps me going. Uh-oh, wait, here's my cat. Sorry.
That's okay. We can hear you.
You might walk across the computer.
Cats are good. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Okay, I love that. So what I'm hearing is it keeps us energized, it keeps us centered. I love that idea of the full embodiment, and what Janice said about, as dancers, a lot of us have been dancers. We do get to use all parts of our body, but most humans don't, and Pilates does offer that, and I think that's so beautiful. Okay, great. So here we are, we're Pilates instructors. We know we love the work. We know we love the passion. We know what it can do. And yet, we are also trying to run a business, which there are business majors that do business. That's what they do. We are not necessarily business majors. We might be business majors, but we are artists, we are teaching artists, and then we're also trying to run a business, and it's challenging. And so Brett, I'm gonna throw this one to you. What are the challenges? What are the main challenges you run into as a Pilates instructor and trying to run this online magazine, create your presence, and run your own business?
So I think one of the greatest challenges that you need to face is self-doubt. Because especially with the magazine, you really have to put yourself out there. And I think any of us who are tapped into the international Pilates community knows how political it is. So you just have to let it out, let it hang out, and go out there and do your thing and hope that somebody comes along. And they do come along, so you have to really believe that and know that. But building up to that, you have to just punch through it, and sometimes just take a pin and stick it in your butt so that you can go forward into that. That's what I think. And then getting back to what Jenna said, I really loved how she said about this. It goes into the teaching. One of my challenges there, because she was saying how to help people live fully in their bodies. I was also a dancer before, and I love that aspect of Pilates. So one of the challenges for me is when people come in and think of Pilates as another gym workout or just another thing along with their body pump or something like that. And I have to, and I am professional and I am all like that, and you have to show kind of respect, but you're a little bit, just not. You want people to be really there with you, and a lot of people are, but if they're not, that's what's a challenge for me. So those two is what I would say.
That's so interesting, Brett, and I would like to say just a little exposure myself with running a business and having an attractive business, which getting people in the door and also trying to do that very thing that is very hard for people to do, which is really go deep. I just was watching this new documentary, Janice turned me onto it via her Facebook page, on Joseph Pilates' life, and it was a quote by Joseph Pilates that it requires patience and persistence to do anything of value. And I think that in this world of real quick, everything happening so quickly, it is hard for people to come on over to a patient and persistent activity. And as business owners, we both need to get them in the door with the candy, but keep them with that solid, it's okay, you can stay here. And so how do we do that? I think that one of the ways that I tend to do this is leading into the next question, which is going to Annette, is I tend to give so much of myself, and I'm there 100% with them because it is a full experience. I'm not standing there saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now turn over and do that one for 15 counts. We don't do that. We are present and we are there and we are so involved in our clients and we want them to learn and grow. I hear it all from all of you. And so I want to know, Annette, who has a family. She just had a baby a couple years ago. Okay. And she's in her home. She's managing all these things as a mom. How do you reserve enough energy for your personal life, the people that you love, and not give too much to your business because you will burn out while giving enough? That's my question.
Yeah, I think the word reserve, I don't know that you can control reserve, that you have to give it. So you give it, and what you have to do is you have to fill your fuel tank and fill it with nutrition, sleep, and then I actually find that the key to the reservation is staying present. Because if you're present, so you look at your schedule for the day and you have 8 clients in a row and you're like, oh, that's too much for me. For me, that's too much. And then somehow I have to run Gabriel to, playtime and then cook and all that stuff. But if I just stay present, instead of focusing on how much you have to do that day, you just stay present with each one. And then you're like, boom, that's done. Next thing, present, done. Next thing, present, done. And then by the end of the day, hopefully you get some sleep. And, we have to take care of ourselves the way we tell our clients to take care of ourselves. And then I make sure I call my friends and get my fun time too, because that's restorative for me. So
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that. And I'm going to just piggyback off of that and go on to Linda. So Linda, if you can unmute the question now to you in congruence with what we're just saying, how do you get fed? How do you find, it's easy to kind of continue now on the teaching level. We're giving a lot of information. So how do you get your information? How do you continue to get fed? And you're somebody who has a lot of feeding going on. So talk to us about that. How do you fit that in?
Well, at Pilates Complete, we have decided to have what we call a holy hour, where we meet up, the instructors, me and my business partner, Jasmine, and we kind of go through all the exercises that we haven't done in a long time with the clients or at group classes. And we can start with the Start Pilates manual, and we go through from the beginning to the end, and we always kind of find new modifications or new exercises that we tend to forget, because it's so easy to stick into the same patterns and teaching the same exercises and saying the same things from day in and day out. So this is a good way for us to find new inspiration and also talk about the clients and figure out new ways to teach. So that's one thing, the holy hour, and we really, it's a promise to ourselves to schedule this hour during Christmas time. We set the schedule for 6 months ahead, and this is the way for us to keep this hour very sacred, not to do as running a business. It's always other things to do, like administration or sending invoices or other stuff that kind of has a better priority, but this is the way for us to keep this holy hour. So that's one thing. And then of course taking new courses and new educations. So instead of taking maybe a higher salary or a big profit in the company, we have decided to put in 3 or 4 different workshops or educations for every year to get new inspiration and to put ourselves in the seat of the client or the members, to be a customer and just receive. So that's the way for us to inspire our members. So
well,
the 2 things.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Linda. And there are 2 things I hear here. One is, there's 3. One is setting that schedule, which is really beautiful. 2 is having the accountability of other people. And a lot of us are on our own. I know I am on my own. Annette is on her own. And if we're on our own, it is hard. And so I love this idea of having that group of like, this is how we're going to do it. The holy hour. I know Janice does that in her studio with her teachers as well. And that going through, it's really beautiful. And then the other thing I hear is like prioritizing. You have to value that. You have to get that education and be the client. And I think that gives us so much, and we don't realize how much that gives us. But it's hard. We give to ourselves last. We tend to give to ourselves last. So I love that you prioritize that. It's beautiful. I'm actually going to move through because we have a few more questions to answer. So Brett, we don't get to you on that one, but I'll get to you later. So now, Emmy, question. This is the biggest question for me, and I know for a lot of us Pilates teachers, is how do you set boundaries with your clients? What do you do? What is your tactic, strategy?
You know, when I first opened the studio 12 years ago, I was determined to keep business and personal life completely separate. I kept my instructors and my clients at arm's length. And within a couple years, I started developing these friendships with the instructors and with my clients, and I actually just stopped fighting it because you can actually make some really wonderful relationships, and I do let them initiate. That is the one boundary that I stick with. So if they want to invite me to their weddings or to a birthday party or to a movie, I let it be their initiation. Of course, I maintain a professional attitude throughout all of our encounters, but you know, who can say they don't want more friends? I mean, it's just really great to have the opportunity to develop on these relationships, because frankly you see your coworkers and your clients more than you see your friends and families in many situations. So yep. I actually try to keep the boundaries on the lower end and just hope for the best.
I love that. That's so great. And I'm going to toss this next, going forward with that. So collecting payment can be a challenge for some of us, especially because, as Emmy you try to have this distance that the product or the service is behind the glass and you're selling this thing, but it's not reality. You do develop relationships. And so then your client becomes your friend. You're seeing them 3 times a week, like you said, more than you see your good friends. And then that friend doesn't want to pay you what you asked them to pay you because they're this or they're that, and there's an excuse, and everybody's family and friends. And so how do we deal with collecting payment and then working with someone intimately, and they have to be open and ready to go with you? How do you do that? And Kim has a great little story, and I just want to hear from Kim. She's been doing this for a while in New York City, and I will tell you that New York City residents want the most out of you that they can get, and they are negotiators. That's how they got here. They want what they want, and they are going to do what they can to get what they can out of you. So she's dealt with a lot of this. Kim, what's a response to that?
Well, actually, one of my clients told me to do this because he used to be in business himself, and he's like, make a fake business partner up, even if you don't have one. So that's what I tell them when I'm collecting payment or they try to get out of the 24-hour cancellation policy. I just say, well, you know what? I got to check with my business partner. He's pretty strict. So usually after that, they're like, oh, they look at me in a totally different light, like, oh, okay. You know, because they always
let your secret out.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's between us, right?
Don't share this with your clients.
Oh no!
Good job, Brett.
Yeah, but actually, they do. They back off, and then they don't kind of press the issue anymore. You know.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think what I hear there is that there is an outside thing greater than you making the decision. And I know that sometimes I've been in conversation with other business owners who it's the policy of the business, whether that's your fake fitness business partner or just the business as this other voice. You know, the business has its policies. The business,
right.
And
exactly.
I think, you know, that character can just be that. It is your business partner. Your business is your business partner. And it needs what it needs to thrive, right? So I love that, Kim. That's so great. Now,
so I guess I'm not really lying.
You're not lying. You have a business partner, and his name is Bent, Mr. Bent.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. He lives on wherever that street is that your studio is on. Okay, so now so we're doing all this. We're trying our best. We're blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Like, you can hit rock bottom. I mean, it is easy. Let me just say, as a beginning of starting this new business with my technology business, this is year 2, running a business is insane. It is insane. It's insane to be an entrepreneur. It's insane to drive. Businesses fail. That's what happens to most businesses. So I want to throw this to Janice Dulac because she has been in this field for a long time, and she has run several studios and businesses. And, you know, Janice, the question is, did you have a rock bottom moment ever? And then, like, how did you recover from that? How did you recover from a rock bottom moment, if you had one?
Of course, I've had one. I've been in business 21 years. And rock bottom actually just happened recently when I realized I didn't have any boundaries. So be careful about not having and letting the boundaries go, because that's when you hit rock bottom. I felt like I was throwing all these dinner parties, these great lavish parties, and suddenly nobody was showing up. You know, I was giving so much, and I realized that, oh, wait a second, not everybody's as passionate about me. About my work, the work as I am, and that I had to build boundaries, and I have to say, wait a second, they're not thinking like me. I'm not valuing my time. I'm giving, and people are going, yeah, I've had enough. I'm full. I don't need another dinner party, you know. And I didn't understand that because I thought we were one big happy family. But in essence, you need boundaries. And that's what I'm starting to build, and to value my time. My model, Romana, gave a lot away, but she got burnt a lot too. And so I realized that I have to value my time as much as other people value their time, and not expect them to want to come to every dinner party that I throw because I thought it would be a great thing to do. It's like, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's have this person come in, and doing so much to create excitement, but realizing in the end, not everybody needs all that, and that I need to value my time and get fed also, because these weren't necessarily always feeding me. I was doing it for other people.
Yeah.
So I'm just recovering from that and understanding that I need to value my time and not pretend that everybody is as passionate and wants as much as I do.
I love that. And I also love that it's not too late, that you know, you can go through these, what I mean is, you said it's not, this is a great tactic for the sustainability, like set your boundaries up now. Learn from Janice. She did hit rock bottom. She is recovering. I think it's probably hard to recover versus start from there, but you have to learn. But I love that did she quit? No, that's what's amazing, right? Like it is possible to refresh and change your model. I love that. I think that's really exciting and gives us a lot of hope. So now I'm gonna take this back over to Linda in London, and I asked the question to all of these panelists: if you created a do-don't list of 5 tips for a sustainable business, what would your do's and your don'ts be? And Linda, I'm going to ask you to give us 3, a do, a don't, whatever you want. So Linda, let's hear 3 of what would be on your list. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have 100, but let's say 3. So one of the most important thing, I think, is to choose the instructors to work in your studio and to help you do your job very, very carefully. And once you have decided to have them in your team, you give them everything. You have to trust them. Let go of all your fears. There is never any guarantee that they won't go starting their own business, or but like trust and giving. I believe in giving. So that's number 1. Number 2 is really to have a private room or a private space where you can rest in between clients. So we have 15 minutes in between each private client. So that's the place where you can just lose your face, rest, and prepare your work. So that's the number 2. That's essential, I think. Let's say number 3. I guess it's a don't. Don't do any any exceptions. Don't give any special prizes or offers to friends, because after a couple of years it's very difficult to, it's a thin line between very good clients and close friends, as we spoke about. So and also don't make any exceptions for the 24-hour cancellation rules. So be strict and be clear, when the customers start. Very clear, then they know what they are getting into, and then stick to it.
I love that. Thank you so much. And going back to everybody, you can come back to this video. You can pass it along. I love all these. I'm going to go back through these and write them down. For the sake of time, we've got a couple minutes left. I'm going to just skip to the last question. I'm going to ask Annette and Brett this question. And the question is, what has been so we started with happy Pilates. So we're finding all these. I love all this. Is going to help me in my business. I know it is. And the question is, what has been your number 1 way, if you could define it, to finding happiness in your job? So Annette, what's your answer to that?
My God, my number 1 way, I'm repeating my answer about being present, because what really, for me, what explodes in that hour with a client, or explodes is a strong word, but when the magic happens, it's because I was vibing with them, they were vibing with me, we are listening to each other, I knew what they needed, I didn't just plaster on my idea for them that hour, but I really listened to them, and then they're listening to me, and then the magic happens, and then that's happiness. Like, that's, for me, that's what kind of keeps it going effortlessly is the word.
I love
my happiness.
That's wonderful. And Brett, my collaborator here, what would you say to that?
Well, mine is near to what Annette said, but I love bringing people to a deeper understanding of their body, and especially I love that moment when my students realize that it's their own responsibility to take their workout first as an investigation of their body and their being, and secondly as a physical exercise, and then you can see them becoming deeply interested while they're doing it, and then looking forward to coming back to you. That gives me a lot of energy.
I love that. Now, Joseph Pilates' book is called Return to Life, right? The book he wrote, yeah? Am I getting this right, guys? I want to make sure. Yes, I see little nodding heads. And I just want to say, I'm going to end this with just, I think my number 1, I know that philosophy, what Joseph is trying to get us to do, which is return to us, return to life, return to living, is for me the key to finding happiness in my business and my life. And if I value the center, I value my center, I value my core, I work with my core, and I go from my core out, that's when I can find happiness in my business. And the moment I start, again, letting go of those boundaries, going external to try to make this work, then it starts to crumble. And it's not fun, and I don't want to do it. And so I am like so grateful that we took this time for us to all dialogue together about this, because I think we do need, guys, I think one other thing, if I could give like a virtual hug to everybody here right now, I would do that, because it's hard what we're doing. It's hard. They're not paying $1 million a session. They should be, but they're not right now, okay, yet. But it's hard, and I think it's really important for us too to hug each other and to give each other that support and that love and say, yes, we're in this together. You might have a different idea about it. You might have, but it's cool. Like, we get it. So thank you, everybody who is here right now. Again, you can share this with whoever. We have the websites. If you go back to the link on the Google Plus page, if you just go to My Bod Wellness's Google Plus page, you will find this video. And please share it and join in the conversation, and join Brett's Pilates and Tell. That is a forum, a community forum, and I'm sure he'll be writing about all of these people if he hasn't already. And thank you so much for being here, and have an awesome, happy Pilates day. And see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.